Well, I watched the video and I was very disappointed. You see, it's unfortunate that uh, when you are after or when you are after a noble cause, you must sit down and take the stock, what it costs, what it takes to run or achieve that. Unfortunately, I saw it. I was very unhappy. How could the agitators be engaging the so-called DSS man in such a romance? Unfortunately, they should know that this man is a spy. He has been well equipped. Look at most of the times, the man will want to touch the collar of his clothes. Not that he wanted to adjust it, but probably there are some sensitive chips, electronic chips or cameras he want to turn on. Or recorders could probably have picked the image or facial pictures of those people interviewing him. You can see the man psychologically reading through his psyche. You know that the man was not perturbed. He was not disturbed because he knows he is playing his card very well. He's feeding the information, the right information to the people. Probably there are some central base collection where those data is being, those signals is being sent to. So those cheap electronic receptors, even the watch he is wearing, all those things are very sensitive gadgets. It could be covering or videoing the people and they are making or using phone to ask silly questions. I mean, that should be people, or the world should have a very formidable formation. They should have, I mean, if they are truly engaged, if they are really serious with what they are doing, there should be department who should handle an intelligent arm of this Oduduwa struggle. People, when such thing comes, it should be channeled, directed to them. Because you don't just approach, and a town can't just be asking a DSS question. These people are well trained. They have, I mean, very wide understanding. Of course, they have several cases which they have gone through, or vigorous studies. So they knew the psyche. They knew that the man, the DSS knew that the people interviewing him are just, they are not his match. I saw him, sometimes he would display his watch, sometimes he would make some movements as if he was trying to adjust something, but not knowing that he's making a fool of them. It's quite unfortunate, and with such, I don't see them making any positive step.
Yeah, because regarding that, I wanted to say, if you think Mr. Olayinka, that's the DSS man, and federal government probably, they are playing a fast one on the Oduduwa nation, because, of course, they have something coming for them. Do you think so, right?
Honestly, because it is not a surprise in the first place that the federal government really understood that once the agitation for the secession of Yoruba nation is sustained, when the temper becomes too high, the federal government or the Nigerian state risk the chance of being exterminated. I mean, there is no two ways about that. So they are deploying their machineries, you see, in order to truncate that move. You see, they are deploying their feedmen, like the DSS personnel, to get information. And Chief Sunday Igboho is the major target. You can see they are trying to bug his car, get information regarding his private fleets or car. They are trying to monitor his way in, way out. You see, and know how best to track him. You see, and Unfortunately, I think these people are not prepared. I mean, the Yoruba agitators. So they should go back and take the stock of what it takes. You can't be just somebody that is anti your project, your prospect. You are just romancing with him. I mean, they should go and learn their lesson, please. I'll borrow a leaf from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, if you want to run a course, you have to come out in your full capacity. You should envisage obstacles and how to surmount those obstacles. If you can't go through them, you can go over them. If you can't go over through those obstacles, you can go underneath. But you remain focused, committed to that very noble cause. Otherwise, it will be just an effort in futility, honestly.
So what do you think they would have done with the DSS man?
Yes, as I rightly said, they should have trained personnel, intelligent arm of the Oduduwa struggle, who should handle such sensitive positions. Yes, probably they did well by identifying the DSS man, but that wasn't enough. Or probably there could be some information that is not disclosed to me. But from the video that is
Trending.
Viral now, it suggests that they needed to do their homework very well. Otherwise, these people will break through and be able to crack the system. So the DSS never acted within the ambit of the law. They are the one that contradicts the position of the law, the Constitution. So it is very highly condemnable for the state itself, who should be, the custodian of the law, is now violating the principle of the law. And it's unfortunate. Why should they invade the rally or whatever to cause civil unrest, to cause mayhem? Because people will always, of course, react to such use of violence. Why? Because nobody has a monopoly of violence. So in a state of anarchy, it is law. It is, you can't abide by the law. So if you are creating that sense of anarchy, sense of lawlessness, then invariably it is a crime to be law abiding. So the DSS should do their job. They are known for intelligent gathering. Rather than exposing themselves, trying to, get attention, they should do the needful if they really know what they're doing. So, disrupting or trying to disrupt the rally cannot change people's ideology. It is all about an ideology war. Once you don't win that war, you can't control, you can't manipulate people's psyche. Already people have been made to understand the true position we are in this country. That we are never one and we can never be one. It's people who should promote unity, who should promote coexistence, are the ones working against unity, are the ones working against coexistence. How could you, fairly treat others because on the basis that they belong to the same ethnicity or the same religion with you, and you disrespect other ethnic nationalities? You want to trample upon them? Look at the Boko Haram hosting their flag across the almost 9 states of the north. They are holding them hostage, and you have not gone to dislodge them. They are having their free day, even to the point of sharing money, sharing foods, souvenirs and all that. Even forcing people to denounce their faiths. You see, and the governments of Nigeria have not moved against such, have not even addressed such. I was shown any body language that suggests they are not in support of what is going on. So I think Sunday Igboho, Chief Sunday Igboho, and his men are very committed. I may want to believe that they are resolute and they will not give in to any threat anytime, whether it's coming from the Yoruba people who may want to betray this noble cause, or it's coming from the Nigerian government. So they should stay put and driven by their own conviction that they are no longer interested in what is happening in Nigeria. And you can see of recent the northern lawmakers turned down, refuted the request to restructure the Nigerian state, to amend the constitution in order to allow more considerations that will be in favor of everyone. So they knew that, of course, they have been beneficiary of this flawed system. And there is no way, is it because of their selfish motives? You see, they wouldn't want to engender prosperity to all. And they want to be in control of the entire resources. Of recent days, Sultan advised the federal government to deploy the use of force in order to silence the agitators. Probably he's not saying that in the interests of national unity. He's saying that probably because of the oils of wealth apportioned to him down south, and most of the emirs and the past head of states, military head of states. So they are not, when they speak about the unity of Nigeria, that the Nigerian unity is non-negotiable. What they are after is the money they derive from the Nigerian states, the money they make from these oil wells and other ventures. That is what is in their minds, or what drives them mad. So, but we cannot continue in a system that does not recognize the rights of her own citizens, does not give the citizens equal opportunity to strive. Just like what you saw DSS doing. How do you want to clamp down on people who already have made up their mind? Provided they are acting within the ambit of the law, you have no rights. They are not causing any civil unrest and does not portend any danger to the environment where they are, except you come, in your usual way of intimidating, harassing, molesting, and even manning and killing of innocent citizens. I've not seen any country anywhere, in a sense society, where even the government itself is after killing of her own citizens, rather than seeking way to promote or to alleviate the sufferings of the people. You are rather aggravating, making it more worse, unbearable. So under such circumstances, people can no longer tolerate such, because it has gone beyond the thresholds, beyond what an average or a natural man could bear. It is not obtainable in other countries. So they also travel, they know what is obtainable there. So why not replicate such, so that people will for once have a sense of belonging. For once, be proud that they come from a country called Nigeria. If Nigeria is truly existing, it's quite unfortunate.
Okay, going over to the next, we have Uche Mefo, the estranged deputy leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on Sunday challenged the leader of the outlawed group, Nnamdi Kanu, to a public oath to prove that he has never collected money from any Nigerian politician. What's your view as regards this?
Well, you see, Uche Mefo is an aggrieved Biafran man. No matter the childish mentality he's putting before the public domain, he's trying to expose his dirty leanings before the public. Probably he may have been paid to do that, but it is too late for him. What we are talking now is not about whether you receive money or from the political elites or not. But what we are, the Biafrans are after, they remain focused to their objective, to their goal, the goal they set before them. We are not talking of whether any politician gave you money or not. We are talking about posterity, about our identity as a people. The Biafrans are looking for a nation where they will have sense of belonging. They will be recognized and identified as part of the society and be treated fairly, equally, without any prejudice. You see? So that is what should be the focus and not this a traitor. You see, it's just groping over a thick darkness. So it's time to find his place. Unfortunately, he have lost that. So nobody could be happy when he lost his position. So it's unfortunate for him. Rather than sitting back and have a retrospect and probably come to apologize as the prodigal son did, he resort to, trying to dent the image of his master. Yes, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains his master even till tomorrow. So it's unfortunate that he allowed himself to be used. And for every saboteur, you know what becomes of them when the chips are down. So he is just, it's never a threat and can never pose a threat. He can never, steal Nnamdi Kanu from the hearts of over millions, hundreds of millions of the Biafran people who have already accepted him. Yes, he might make his mistakes, but he's still loved by people. It's because Nnamdi Kanu has won that ideology war. So it takes a more superior reasoning to dislodge him. But who is coming with such reasoning? It takes a superior ideology for you to take him out of the scheme of events. But we've not seen yet any ideology that can replace or substitute that of Nnamdi Kanu. Not just from Biafra, almost even in the north, he has his admirers. So Mefo or whoever is just a boy, a child that's still wearing pampers. So he neither know his left from right. So it's very unfortunate for him. Honestly, so unfortunate to have come down from such lofty heights, such prestigious heights, to dine with swine. It's quite unfortunate. He should cover his face in shame I'll even rather go and hang himself, because he has not just done this great harm to himself, but to his posterity, if he has any.
Well, like you rightfully said, we know that Uche Meafo was formerly Nnamdi Kanu's right-hand man, right?
Exactly.
So what do you think is the cause of the rift?
Whatever may be the cause, I may want to ask you, what do you think could have been the cause, the reason why then Lucifer, you know, as a Christian, you understood the tenets of your faith. What came over Lucifer that he eventually want to overrun or overthrow God himself? You see, the Bible says that pride goes before a fall. You see, pride goes before destruction. When you don't control your desire, when you are too ambitious, too anxious, too greedy, and you don't apply self-discipline, that is how such person ends. So what must have led to the rift is not because that Nnamdi Kanu betrayed him, it's because of his selfish interests and greed. Pride is what, of course, came up on him, and today you can see he is nobody. You see, he has come down from such prestigious position to become a rag. In the age of, before every average Biafran, Meafo is just, he has lost his relevance.
Okay, so with the whole of all the factions emerging in the IPOB, do you think can this be mainly because of financial resource control?
Well, in a family, you should anticipate such. You should anticipate a rift between even twins. If you have twins, sometimes you can disagree on many positions. So that doesn't suggest that you are not twins. It doesn't suggest that you are not a member of the family. So people might have their of course, resentments. They might have their grievances. That is much anticipated. But what makes a true leader is your ability to bring both the different factions together and be able to manage their differences, unite them with a common front, with a common goal, try to remind them we have an objective before setting out. So irrespective of whatever may be your differences, you should not be distracted. So whatever might have led to that, I knew that we are still within the target. So it could be on personal issues and all that, you know. People may want to, of course, it's much as anticipated that in a society or in an organization, some are more ambitious, some are reluctant, while some may want to be recognized. So what we do as Biafran people, we learn to tap each one's individual strengths. We sometimes overlook their weaknesses, but we can exploit their strengths and their advantageous positions to move forward. And that is why, of course, the Biafran cause have recorded great success.
Okay, so in line with all of this, so when we focus clearly on the outlawed IPOB, so we already have reports that the sectionist movement at the moment is seriously fractured, with many former members. Some are with Nnamdi Kanu, that's IPOB leader, or Uche Meafo, the deputy leader. Some even, we had Asari Dokubo, and then Wazurike, and the rest of them. So then some others that are not in any of these teams, I would say, are probably have their own cause they are chatting for. So in all of this, you think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu really need to get prepared ahead?
Well, my people said, Ana ahapu eba na-echi ọzọ gawa ebe a na-arụ agwụ. By implication, it's not possible. A man with his senses cannot do that. You live where you should be celebrated, and move where you have no future. So what we are saying in essence is that, of course, it is much anticipated. People have different interests and driven by different interests. That is nothing bad about that. People want to, of course, ahead of time, they want to carve a nick for themselves. They want to see that when the chips are down, you have something to fall back. Your contribution, the impact is felt. I think that is what is happening. We all recognize this. I think the leader of IPOB of the Biafran cause recognize this. So what we do, we don't destroy our own. An Igbo man, they said that in Igbo, there is an adage that says, Anaghị egbu dike n'ihi na ọ kwafuru mmanụ, n'ihi na ụbọchị agha, you see, a ga-echeta ya. So you don't destroy a warrior because of an error. You see, in the days of external battle, his importance could be felt. So for an Igbo man, you don't destroy your own, but you tap the advantage and the strength of these people. Of course, sometimes ignoring their errors or mistakes. You could also scold them or caution them on that, in that regard. But you don't destroy your own, because they could serve a very good purpose or cause, a due cause.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie. It was nice having you today.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.